Hi guys, in today's Shopkins tutorial I am going to actually be making a character that was created by beanieboos.giaofficial off of Instagram. She messaged me to see if I could create this little character. So she's the one that designed it and I just made it out of clay, and I'm going to be sending her one. So I'm going to be showing you in the video what all I used here to make this super cute little character. So of course you're going to start with a clump of orange clay, and I'm just going to roll it into a ball. I'm just using the palms of my hands, and it gives you a nice little circle shape. And I have two little black clumps of clay here for the feet, and two for the hands, and a little itty bitty nose there. And what I'm going to be using is just some wooden tools such as this. I really like this one because it does really good at indenting in the clay. And then of course a sharp razor tool, which is good for slicing and just sort of, I guess, cutting off any extra pieces of clay and whatnot. So it has some really good uses. And you can also use the little grid pattern on here to make indents in the clay. And also what I did on this one, it may be kind of hard to tell because I've glazed it, but I textured it a bit because you know how like an actual basketball has little tiny bumps in it. So of course you want to do this before you go and bake it, but it just kind of gives it almost like a little, or right now it kind of looks like an orange. With the texture and everything on there. So I'm just going to do that all the way around, and then I'm going to take my tool here and I'm going to make 3 even lines right across. So I'm just going to kind of spin it around slowly. So there's one line, and I'm going to try and get it about the same size on either side, so like that. And then I'm going to do one right around the top and the bottom. And there you have a little basketball shape. Now what I did with this, after I had baked it, then I went in with some black clay and a tiny paintbrush and I just painted that. But if you want to use a thin piece of polymer clay, you can just wrap that around there. But I just found it easier just to use the paint. So once you have the lines in there, I think that should be enough. Let's see here. So we have, I think actually we might be missing a line here. This one I did, it was a little wonky, so it was a little off center. Let's see here. I'm just going to put one more line right down the middle, so it'll look a bit more like a basketball. I was never good at basketball in school. I did like soccer, but basketball I just couldn't run and dribble at the same time. Just not coordinated very well. So there we go. So there's our basketball shape. Alright, so just 3 lines across. So 2 on either side and 1 in the middle, and then just 1 right to the top and the bottom. And what I'm going to do is make a little tiny mouth here. So I'm going to use the center line as the center of the face and just make a little tiny mouth in there and roll out the little nose here. Pop that on there, and then I'll make a hole on either side. I'm just going to make the little arms. As you can see, it'll be thinner on one side like a cone shape, and I find if you just pop the thinner end in there, then it will hold well. So again, I'll roll it out into like a little cone and then just pop that in. So that's coming along pretty good. And then normally what I do is just touch it up before I go ahead and bake it. Because by putting the feet and the arms on, you might smush it a little bit, but that's okay. So I'm going to put our feet together here on either side and then just pop them right on there. So there's our little basketball character. And I'm going to go ahead and bake him at 275 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes. Okay, so I've gone ahead and baked our little Bella basketball here. And it's cooled down enough that I'm going to be taking a small a thin paintbrush, dip it into some black, and then I'm just going to go right over all the lines that we made. Oops! I always tend to drop them, but luckily they're baked and it won't hurt them. So it's best to try and have a steady hand and try not to drop it, but it happens. So you can even take a Sharpie marker and go in and trace around them as well. But I like using the paintbrush. And even if you get a little bit of black on the orange, you can just wait till it dries and then just touch up. Just touch up the orange. So I just am going to do the sides first, so you can see, and then I'll leave the middle line for the very last. And I'm probably just going to hold it by the feet. That might be the best. And then hold it by the little nose here and the feet. And there we go. So there are all the lines on there for now. And I'm going to let that dry, and then I will take a little bit of black paint and make the eyes and then some white for the mouth. And then once that dries, we'll glaze it. Alright, so the next step is to paint the little mouth. And so I'm just going to add some white in here. So just like so. So it's a super happy little basketball. And then I'm going to take some black paint and make the eyes. Okay, and then we'll let that dry, and then I will show you how I glaze them with just a coat of triple thick and a soft bristled brush. Alright, so I'm all finished with our little Bella character here, and the paints that I used were just acrylic ones from the dollar store. This white one I've had for a while. So it's a pure pumpkin color, white and black. So what I'm going to do is just sort of lightly shake up the bottle here. And I'm just going to pour a small amount. And I do find I have to kind of clean the top of this off a bit. It gets kind of built up. So I'm just going to pour a little tiny bit. Let me see here if I can pour some out on a piece of paper. So you don't need very much, just a little glob, about that size. And I'm just going to take the soft bristled brush that I have here and just put a little bit on, and I'm just going to brush it just thinly. It's best to just do thin coats. If you want to put more than one coat on, you can, but I'm just going to put just the one on for now. So I'll do this in stages. I'll let that dry, and then I'll go ahead and do the other side, and then we'll be finished. So I am all finished, our little characters. This one is still drying a little bit, and this is the one that I'm going to be sending to Gia, beanieboos.giaofficial on Instagram. So thanks again for allowing me to create your cute little character, and who knows, maybe someday you'll see this as an actual Shopkins character. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!